The 30 Years' War actually starts as well in 1618, and it's a conflict where the Roman Catholic powers in Europe are really trying to use military force to roll back the Reformation in different countries in Europe. And when Dickson looks across the sea to Europe, he's seeing reformed seminaries like Heidelberg being just wiped off the map, and their libraries being decimated. And he's seeing, churches like in what we would think of as Czechoslovakia being just completely wiped out. And then you've got just the brutality of it. It's one of the most brutal conflicts, and obviously by the name it lasts a long time, but you've got thousands of people, and many civilians are affected by it through famine and different other aspects of the brutality of it. So it's a really bloody, terrible period. And the great fear in 1628 is that Scotland will be invaded, and that's behind this. And Irvine's a seaport. There's that fear that maybe they will be invaded, and then also in 1628 you have the Huguenots in France being besieged by the French state effectively, and there's La Rochelle, which is a seaport, and it is being besieged. The English go to try to give help to them, but it's abortive. And this is exactly the time when Dickson is preaching this. They're getting news of this. Here's these Protestants, they're in fear of their lives, they're being besieged. Maybe this is the sort of thing that would happen to us, but we ought to have a fellow feeling with them. And the Scottish Church does, and it has these fasts more than several times, sort of national fasts, distinctly for the French people. So they really feel at one with the French Protestants. They raise money for them, and they have that kind of internationalism that you almost wouldn't think of as people having at that time. But that's the experience that they've got. So you've got this context of international upheaval that also brings with it this economic and social upheaval. So it's a real tumultuous context in which to be preaching these sermons.
Sure.
And what Dickson does is he says, you need to look at this. You need to look at what's happening in the continent. Look at those churches that are being destroyed, and if you don't care about that, then that's a sign that you don't really care as you should about Christ's church. And maybe what will happen is that will happen here. So he's trying to sort of give people this concern for the church and the church's afflictions, whether it's abroad or whether it's at home.